the two of you actually had to pull off a heist or a getaway together, which one is driving and who's navigating?
Yeah,
I'll
I'll drive. You can
navigate.
navigate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in the passenger seat with his dog hanging out.
I was not expecting how, like, to have my heart, like, broken. I don't want to give anything away because I really loved this movie and wasn't anticipating how much heart, empathy, and emotion that I was going to experience. So, that being said, you write about, someone who's trying to outrun their past.
Right.
I would love to know what part of your own creative past do you feel like you're finally outrunning with Eenie Meanie?
Oh God, I don't know if I think it's the opposite. I always seem to keep turning back into it in a way that I don't know if it's good or not. But I think, I always write about the people from my past. I grew up with these type of people. I grew up in a hard town in Brockton, Massachusetts. Cleveland was very much like that. Fortunately for us, we went out there and worked there, and they were just like it felt like, people I grew up with every day. Yeah, I keep diving into that and kind of the strange forms of family that kind of poverty makes for people and survival. And so was really interested in telling stories of those people I grew up with who might have been raised by grandma or might have been raised by a boyfriend's family. And in this case, two people who only had each other were their only family and the loyalty that comes with that.
I would love to know, that these characters are really tied together by their messy past, and you guys play toxic couple really well. So I would like to know, how did the two of you, build that history together, off screen before the cameras rolled?
I mean, for me, it was really just in the script. I didn't have to reach very far because it was very obvious in the script what this relationship was. Um, and then just meeting Karl, I think what was risky was because it was so toxic and there was a lot of animosity, especially for me, because I'd just spend the whole movie like yelling at him and being annoyed, that it was really important that we had really good chemistry so that the audience did feel love and understand why they were together. And I think we just got really lucky that we got along in real life so that when we were pretending to hate each other, the
Yeah,
sort of love
bit of a
came.
leap of faith because we didn't have a chemistry
Mhm.
read or anything.
Well, it was funny because I just spoke to Shawn, and you know, John, as crazy as he is sort of like that. It has a little bit of a Holly Golightly, sort of attitude, and paired against that relationship, it really, you could see that sort of chemistry flourish. So I'm kind of wondering, was there something between that happened between the two of you during filming that kind of maybe you learned about one another that really kind of made you trust each other more as this process was going on?
Well, I was going through some personal stuff, like right as the movie started, like in my own romantic life, and I was pretty open about it. I wanted our director and my co-star to know what I was going through, so they wouldn't think that it had anything to do with them. Um, but I was kind of like just I was in a place where I was like, I'm at your mercy. I'm sort of emotionally destroyed right now, but in a perfect spot to play this part. And I found, Sam was she's a very honest person. And we had a little barbecue dinner like one of the first nights before we started filming, and we watched like a couple movies together, and I mean, she's easy to be around, so it wasn't a whole lot of hard work on my end.
Aw.
Oh, if you watch the trailer, you think, this is going to be like and as it is, a race car action thriller, right? But you're also able to balance the tone of the heart, the empathy, the emotion with the action and the getaway and the violence without going over the top. So, I would love to know, like, how were you able to balance that? Because people love the Fast and the Furious movies as they have and as they have evolved. And this is not that. This is something that, like, I loved it, pleasantly surprised.
Music to my ears, because hopefully you're going in thinking, here's a fun popcorn movie with some comedy in it, some really good practical car chases, like, and then you get a whole lot more. Like, because it's kind of my response to those movies. By the way, I'm a Tokyo Drift guy. So I am like, people always say, like, you've only seen Tokyo Drift and a couple of others. I'm like, Tokyo Drift's my favorite. But it is a response to that. Like, I was hoping to give people kind of everything you said, the emotional depth and the journey of her, her journey in the mystery of why him, why them, instead of like, we're going to break into a warehouse and steal a super part for the car to make it go faster. We're going through her past in this, story about a woman who is trying to figure it out and outrun her past for good.
If the two of you actually had to pull off a heist or a getaway together, which one is driving and who's navigating?
Yeah, I'll drive. You can
Navigate.
navigate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the passenger seat with his dog hanging out.